Distum is a Swedish state authority where around 15 researchers, officials and editors work to encourage the development and use of ICT in open and distant learning at Swedish universities and university colleges and within the popular education movement in Sweden. If we are to realize our plans for lifelong learning here in Sweden, the education system will have to be changed to allow for greater flexibility. Flexibility not only when it comes to the time or the location of study, but flexibility also in the question of what you want to learn and how. New technology provides new opportunities to meet the needs of both individual and the labour market. This is not enough though. We also need to develop our knowledge in a number of areas and to change some structure of today's society. A large number of people will soon be retiring in a number of fields, and this, together with the increasing depopulation of rural areas, means that we also need to stimulate investments in the regions to give new target groups the opportunity to gain an education. One of distum's tasks is to hasten the process of change and to contribute to the development of knowledge and skills within the area of open and flexible learning in Sweden.
LUGI is a program for teacher trainees who can work flexibly within the school system and cooperate with others in the development of their own local area. The recruitment of fully trained teachers is an acute and growing problem in sparsely populated areas. The aim of the LUGI program is to develop a teacher training course which is accessible to people who already live in sparsely populated areas and is adapted to their needs. Students attend an access course before they begin their teacher training, which involves cooperation with the adult education programs run by their local councils. On the access course, study in preparation for teacher training is adapted to the student's individual educational level and needs. Experience and suitability for the profession weigh heavily when students are being recruited. The periods of teaching practice give the student both an introduction to the profession and useful personal contacts with possible future employers. The Teacher Training College and the Adult Education Programme run by the local council work together with the region study centres. Students meet in mixed groups at the centres where they can give each other feedback and form part of a social network. The Access course is being continuously evaluated and developed. Students, mentors and teachers are working together to form the course content. This way of working is also intended to act as a model for other types of professional training where there is a need to broaden the recruitment base. Streamed media and similar techniques are going to be important components in the learning of the future. The SMISC project puts the pedagogical aspects first, even though the technology is an important component in itself. Streamed media uses the internet to send sounds and graphics one bit at a time, instead of in large files, which are difficult for many users to handle. The project is carrying out research into how streamed media works in different situations: campus-based courses, distance courses, seminars and guest lectures. The lectures are broadcast directly onto the net, and the lecturer can use the same media to convey digressions, summaries and the foundation material for study tasks to the students. Both the lectures and the associated study material are then available to the student whenever he or she wishes to study. In the transition to the use of new communications technology, there is often a phase when established material is put out on the new media in the old form. However, if the full benefits of this technology are to be enjoyed, both materials and methods must be adapted to the particular qualities of the new media. The aim of the SMISC project is to find new techniques and teaching methods which will make it possible for more people to participate in flexible and lifelong learning. STUDIS, a technical and pedagogical training system for deaf learners. The STUDIS project has developed a flexible model for deaf learners who want to study distance courses using modern technical solutions and in cooperation with distance teachers of experience. The aim is to develop both technical and pedagogical methods for distance learning by sign language and to train teachers and others who are involved in this type of education. Text, graphics, sign language and opportunities for interaction are combined into sound pedagogical units which can be distributed via the World Wide Web. Most learners will find a learning style to suit them in that combination. The material is scalable so that it can be offered via computer systems with capacities from 40 to 300 kilobits per second. A user terminal is installed at each distance study centre where learners can gain access to the information contained in the course independently. The terminal can also be used as a video telephone for conversations with hearing people. This method provides new opportunities for deaf learners who need to supplement their high school education in one of the core subjects or who need to continue with their education. Sweden is now the first country in the world to fully use this technique, which is a combination of broadband connections and picture compression. Courses can be delivered efficiently and close to where the learners are. This is an important first step in the development of distance education for deaf learners. Distum's website is a meeting place for teachers and educators, researchers, learners, and indeed for anyone who's interested in learning more about flexible learning at a distance. There are research papers, articles of interest, guest columnists, online discussions, information about ongoing projects, and an extensive set of links to information about distance education from all over the world. The site also offers the opportunity to build practical networks of people with specific areas of interest within distance education.
It has always been easy for well-educated groups of people to maintain their level of competence and skill by continuing to educate themselves. Involving groups who come from less well-developed educational backgrounds requires study-friendly environments. This user-friendliness applies to the technology and software being used, which needs to be combined with personal support. Policymakers must invest in a variety of forms of study to accommodate target groups which are more and more diverse. This demands actions in various directions. Most often, questions related to technology attract the most attention, and sometimes the mere introduction of ICT is expected to solve problems by itself. However, factors relating to organizational matters are of vital importance. These factors can be grouped around 3 levels. Firstly, educational systems have to adapt to the needs of new groups of learners. Secondly, educational organizations have to change the way they work, for example by providing new curriculums and new entry points to educational programs. Finally, the organization of teaching and studying must change to support the building of social networks around the learners, and furthermore, the environment in which studies take place has to be closely associated with the real world, that is, the working environment.
More information on www.distum.se